I'm Lauren, and I researched June Mathis, page 95 in the book. June was the very first ever female film executive in her story. No, this wasn't just 5 years ago or 50 years ago. June commanded Hollywood in 1918. With over 100 writing, producing, you name it credits, her extensive list of accomplishments is what initially drew me to research this powerful woman. I had to know how June Mathis became the highest paid film executive at age 35. June's first experience as a storyteller and entertainer was as a child vaudeville performer. She was only 9. Her local paper deemed her the cleverest child elocutionist in the country. June was clever. Her cleverness grew with her into adulthood. But she didn't rely on her clever wit to land her a job in Hollywood. June valued education. She spent 2 years studying the craft of screenwriting because she didn't want to turn out what she considered half-baked scripts. Her determination and commitment to the art for artist's sake was a feeling I could relate to. Here I was, embarking on a 2-year master's program in screenwriting. As I typed away on my laptop at 2 a.m., nearly a century after her, I thought of June staying up late, studying and pursuing her dreams. June's stories were indeed fully baked. They were baked with ahead of her time statements. She teased the lines of gender and sexuality in her films, men dressed in women's clothing. An Italian actor, Rudolph Valentino, was the leading man in several of her movies. She didn't anchor herself in any genre, but ventured off and mastered everything from horrors to comedy and action-packed epics, such as The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Four Horsemen would be the highest-grossing film of 1921 and the 6th best-selling silent film ever. Its monetary gains matched its cultural revenue. The film popularized the tango, and it proved that a dark-skinned actor, Valentino, when given the opportunity, was more than capable of leading an American film. In Four Horsemen, Mathis deliberately inserted a scene of German soldiers dressed in drag, and she knew it would jolt audiences, but her response to the critics were, "You can't portray life if you obey the censors." June is most remembered for discovering Hollywood's first heartthrob, Rudolph Valentino. June and Rudy had a fascinating relationship. Was it a mentorship? Was it a love affair? Was it professional or mother-son-like? It was often the center of conversation or gossip. The partnership between Mathis and Valentino still remains unknown to this day, but Adela St. Rogers said it best when she said nothing could shake the friendship between June and Rudy, not even death. Valentino died from an abdominal infection at just 31 years old. Following his death, Mathis bid on an empty plot next to him. A mess of a lawsuit ensued between June and the Valentinos. June defended the empty plot. "He is a guest in my future home, and I don't intend to ask him to leave." Before the case was decided, June's heart gave out after decades of struggling with a weak heart. But perhaps she died from a broken one. Rudy and June died within a year of each other. Whether they were film friends, aficionados, or like family, these two were in sync. Today they rest side by side in peace at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles. June made the most of her 12-year term in Hollywood, paving a fierce and fearless road for future screenwriters like myself and all of my MFA sisters. If June were here now, I think she would say, study hard, forget the censors, and for art's sake, read When Women Wrote Hollywood.